of the day as well. Number 23, Cassidy Mast up to the plate. Mast batted in the number 6 hole in the first game of the day. She's now going to bat third, and perhaps that had something to do with the fact that she hit a grand slam in the 6th inning of the last game. Mast hits that one into the gap over the right fielder's head. She's heading for second base. Nicole Tiffany comes around to score another RBI double. This one by Mast, 2-0. Bellevue in the lead here in the first inning. And that will bring up Tess Dixon. Dixon wearing the number 4. She has 14 home runs on the year. Pops that one up in the infield. Jillian Rabin floats over to catch that one. 1 away. And that will bring up number 2, Erin Scott. First pitch to Scott, high, ball 1, 1-0. Scott, who had 3 at-bats last game before she was substituted for. Who's head coach Leah Francis doing a nice job of getting all of her players involved in that last game. 4 field substitutions in the 3rd inning alone, one of which was for Scott. So Scott lined out to first base in the 1st inning last game. She also walked twice. Showing the bunt, 1-1 count. Swings away, hits it over to shortstop. Jackson with a diving stop, nicely done. However, not able to get up and make a throw. So going and standing up at first base is Erin Scott with a single. Mast will head on down to third. Runners at the corners, and Katie Jackson will come up for her first at bat of this game. Jackson, who came in as a substitute last game for Rachel Delamar. Delamar, who went out with an injury. We're still not sure what happened to her, but she apparently will not be getting the start here in game number 2. Jackson will, and Jackson made her presence known very quickly as she doubled high off the center field wall, or fence, if you will.
Well, it might as well be a wall.
It looks like a wall, right? They've got the blue tarp out there. Todd Elvik, nice to have you on board here with us.
Thank you, sir.
A little bit warmer right now. The wind seems to have died down a bit. No rain at this time. Knock on wood, there are still clouds overhead. Strike called, 1-2. 2 on, 2 in, 1 away. Ball bounces to the plate. 2-2 is the count to Jackson. Jerry Faulkner, home plate umpire, was our field umpire in the first game. He's switched places with Chris Zacher, who is now umpiring over in the shortstop hole. Full count to Jackson. Of course, the broadcaster jinx holds true again. As soon as I talk about the weather being a little bit more cooperative, the wind picks up. Jackson lines that one into center field, all the way to the fence. 1 run is already in. And sliding into second base with a double is Jackson. Scott ends up on third on the play. Mast comes in to score, and Bellevue with an early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, that breeze did pick up. Thanks for that.
Yeah, we didn't need that. It's a little bit chilly out here right now, and continues to be so. Tanera Adams stepping back to the plate to see where she's playing. As she had actually substituted in last game for Tess Dixon. Did a nice job. She hit one of the home runs in the 6th inning also. Kind of a cool story I found out during our break here as we were talking to a couple of the parents, or one of the parents anyway. talking to Tanera's father, he was letting me know that Adams and Mast both went to Cedar Woolley High School together. They were teammates and grew up together, so the two of them hitting a home run in the same inning was a pretty big deal for them. That was a nice experience for them in the sixth. Her former classmate at Cedar Woolley already scoring here in this inning, Cassidy D. Mast. Now Tenera trying to get something going on with a 2-1 count.
I love those kind of stories.
Especially at the community college level, you get players coming in from all areas, but generally speaking, they cover a fairly short ground, so a lot of former teammates as Adams flies out to center field. On the play, taking up and coming in to score is Aaron Scott, so a sacrifice fly makes the score 4-0. Two outs. That's going to bring up number 13, Emma Bedsworth. Bedsworth playing the first 3 innings of that last game. She had an outstanding play in the first inning of our opening game, a diving catch out in left field. She came flying into foul territory and laid out and made the final out of the inning. Fouls that one off down the first baseline. 0-1 is the count. 2 outs here in the first. 4 runs already in for Bellevue. Inside. Ball 1-1. Bedsworth batting .386 coming into the day. That's going to help her average. She hits that one into the gap. Left center field. It's going to go all the way. 2 runs come in to score as Jackson comes across the plate. Actually, 1 run came in to score, just to Jackson.
Stop teasing me.
Trying to put you to work there, Todd, as 1 run can be added to the board, making it 5-0. Bedsworth ends up on second base with a double. And laying down a gorgeous bunt and beating it down the line. That is number 12, Erica Torr. Ball is thrown past first base. Bedsworth coming all the way over from second base to score. Now you can put up the 6 on the board as Bedsworth comes in. Torr on the play. Holding at first base. Give her an infield single. Score comes in on an error. And we are going to go back to the top of the lineup already, as that is the 9th batter of the inning. 6 runs in, 2 outs, 1 runner on base. And the player who started this whole thing, Taylor Turner, coming up for her second at bat. Turner singling and then later scoring to lead off this game. Crampert with the pitch. Belting it deep into center field. Back, hits the fence. Bounces away from Cassell. Coming in to score. On the play is Torrey up on third with a triple. Is Taylor Turner. Make it a 7-0 game now. As Turner gave that one quite a ride.
You can always tell when they get a hold of it.
Yeah, that one jumped off the bat rather nicely, didn't it? Nicole Tiffany, who had an RBI double in the first inning. We had her unofficially with 8 RBI last game. Last at bat was a 3-run home run. She lines that one fair down the left field line, easily coming in to score is Turner. Ball still rolling the fence. Tiffany thought about going for 3, but pulls up with a stand-up double. Second one of the inning. Give her another RBI. And the score is now 8-0. Cassidy Mast doubled in her first at bat. Let's see what she can do here. Strike right down the middle, 0-1. Mass, the 12th batter to come to the plate here.
That pole's in your way, isn't it?
It is a little bit. I'm between trying to read the scoreboard and also trying to look out on the field. Doing the quick math in my head too. 8 runs, 2 outs, 1 batter on, 1 batter up. That equals 12. And I think we're going to see a 13th batter as Mast lines that one into left field for a base hit. Tiffany ending up on third base. Mast stops on first. Tess Dixon, who popped up to the shortstop in her first at bat. She's coming up one more time. And again, this is an always dangerous hitter coming into the day. 14 home runs and 58 at bats. She would love to get a hold of one right here. Pops this one into right field. Coming in to make the play is the right fielder, Chelsea Foster, and that is the end of the inning, but not before Bellevue puts up 8 huge runs to start this game off. We head to the bottom of the first. You're watching STSPN.
There you go.
And welcome back to STSPN.com. Steve Willits along with Todd Elvick. And we've already got our first substitution as Megan Lindgren is going to replace Taylor Turner out in the field. So Turner with a single, a triple, and 2 runs in the first inning. And apparently that's enough for her for the day. She's already going to head towards the bench and take the rest of the day off. And leading off the game for Shoreline, Sarah Cassell. The speedy Sarah Cassell. 18 stolen bases on the year. And we saw her put that speed to good work in the first game as she had a couple of very nice infield singles. Tess Dixon getting the start. Only her 6th start of the year. Has a 5.10 ERA coming into the day. The other 2 pitchers on this team, Lockwood and Bunsen, both seen action in the first game. Great play, and unfortunately not able to make the play over on first base as Cassell goes to second. She's going to try to go for third. Is she going to go home? She is, in fact, going to try to go home and ease up with Sarah Cassell. Give her a single and then a 3-base. That was number 23.
Wow.
Cassidy Mass, who tried to fire it over to first base, where Gabrielle Vidalin was covering. Vidalin is the second baseman who is not batting. She's got a designated batter for her, but got by her and went right down the right field line. And Cassell, who, like we mentioned earlier, just extremely fast, motored all the way around from first. Matter of fact, the most interesting part of that play, I don't know if you saw it, she rounded third. And Jerry Faulkner, the umpire who was over there trying to cover the play, jumped right into her path, and I think he had to back up at the last second to avoid colliding with her. She was able to get all the way around and get the first run of the game in for Shoreline. Ball is hit right up the middle, base hit. It's number 21, Maddie Roberts, moving up the lineup for this game.
Well, they weren't going to go away quickly.
Oh, and much like last game, Bellevue jumps out to an early lead, and Shoreline comes back with the bats. 1 run already in. 1 run on, and Brandy Hannes now steps to the plate. Hannes takes the first pitch low, ball 1. Hannah Beisch over in the on-deck circle. Takes and fires that one high. Goes off the mid of Jackson all the way back to the backstop. And heading down to second base on the pass ball is Maddie Roberts.
Tell them no thank you on hitting the fence right here in front of us.
Yeah, no kidding, right? That one got our attention a little bit. Jackson kneels down awaiting the Dixon delivery. Tess winds and throws. A little bit low and inside. Ball 3, 3-0. And immediately, Katie Jackson, the catcher, decides to call a timeout and try to settle her pitcher down just a little bit. So we've got 9 runs across the plate already in this game. 8 for Bellevue, 1 for Shoreline. Never a dull moment here, as we had 28 runs in that last game.
Well, as long as you can see the bat once in a while, it makes the game a lot interesting.
3-0 count to Brandy Hannes, not to be confused with Hannah Beisch, who comes up next. One last name, one first name. Ball 4 gets away, and on the play, Roberts heads down to third base on yet another passed ball. Hannes with the walk, ends up on first, so we've got runners at the corner. Beisch up at the plate. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Beisch awaits the pitch. Right down the middle, strike. 0-1 count to Hannah. To the field lineups here in just a moment as we get everything caught up from the last game. There's quite a few changes for, at least from the Bellevue standpoint. One count to Beisch. Ball 2, 2-1. So your infield right now is Mast over on third. Scott playing shortstop. Vidal in second, Adams first, Jackson catching, Dixon pitching. Nicole Tiffany out in center field. Strike called. Bedsford out in left field. Lindgren in right. Beisch at the plate, 2-2 count as Dixon winds and throws. Beisch lines it over to shortstop. Scott fields it, flips it underhand to Vidalian. Making the throw to first and not getting it in time as Beisch ends up on first base on the sacrifice, or actually fielder's choice.
Why'd they just pop it up? Oh, there we go.
Brandy Hannes out at second on the play.
They popped it up to 2 outs for a second there. I was like, wait a minute, only 1 out.
Sometimes you got to just pause a minute with the community college scoreboard, I guess. Roberts coming in to score on the play, so it's now 8-2. So give Beisch an RBI. And stepping to the plate right now, number 25. Here comes that wind again. Emily Jackson. Jackson, who hit a home run in the first game of this doubleheader. The way that wind is blowing right now, it might be mission impossible for a home run as the wind seems to be blowing away from the outfield at this time. Hits that one off of Dixon's glove. Medallion making a nice stop. Flips it to the shortstop who in the base and out on the ice. That is your play of the day right there.
That was good.
Gabrielle Medallion diving for the ball on her back. Flipped it over her shoulder, essentially. Aaron Scott came running over, caught the ball, forced Beisch out at second. Emily Jackson is safe at first on the play, but that should not have been an out at all. And wow, nice defense.
She was going to tag her, actually.
She still has a smile on her face over there on second base, and I can't say that I blame her.
No.
So we had a 6-4 fielder's choice to play before that. That is a 4-6 fielder's choice. And 0-1 count right now to the batter. And this is number 27, the pitcher, Brittany Crampert. Crampert 0-2 count. Dixon looks in for the signal from Jackson. Almost catches that corner. That was close. 1-2 is the count.
She thought she had it.
Yeah, Jackson held the glove there for a second, hoping that perhaps she could get change of heart from the umpire. It didn't happen. Wind feels like it's swirling right now. We'll see how it affects this game as we move on. 2-2 count as that ball's outside.
Well, earlier I thought, I saw some sun and I was like, that might be a nice day. Now nothing.
Well, the morning was sunny for the most part, and then the clouds rolled in and they were spotty clouds, and now it's just nothing but gray skies above us. Ooh, and that ball might have hit her, and it did. Crampert is going to head on down to first base as it caught her on the foot on that play. She goes to first. Jackson heads to second base. 2 on, and that's going to bring up number 11, Amanda Aversano. Aversano batting from the left side. Pitch is a riser, and it is high. Ball 1. 1-0 to Aversano, the left fielder. Another high pitch, ball 2, 2-0. Jillian Raban on deck, hoping to get a chance to bat this inning. Ball's hit foul. Head coach Ben Rendell getting a chance to get in on the action there as he's the third base coach. Fielded that one relatively cleanly with his bare hand. Out of play.
Probably wishing he was back playing.
Probably wishing he had a glove right now. It's a little bit chilly out there, and I could hear the slap against his hand when he got that ball. Strike 2 called, 2-2 count to Aversano. If he's anything like us, he's probably wishing he had a heavier jacket and maybe even some gloves right now. It's not quite there to the glove level yet, but in the dirt / turf. Ball 3, 3-2. This game being played on field turf, infield and outfield.
Nice fields.
These are great fields here. They've done a nice job at Meridian Fields here in Shoreline. Strike 3 called. Aversano gets caught looking, and that ends the inning, but not before Shoreline gets 2 runs back. We're through an inning to play. Bellevue 8, Shoreline 2. You're watching STSPN. Ooh. And welcome back to STSPN.com. Very entertaining and interesting first inning. Not only did we have 10 runs between the two teams, but we also had our first ejection of the game, of the day, I should say, as Ben Rendell, the head coach for Shoreline, was just tossed by Jerry Faulkner, the umpire. We mentioned Rendell was the third base coach. Did not like the called third strike against Amanda Aversano, and apparently didn't like some of the other calls as well. And as he walked back to his dugout, which is along the first base line, decided he had some words for Jerry Faulkner and kept chirping and chirping until finally Faulkner just decided he'd had enough and said, "Coach, you're done," and he tossed him out of the game.
See you later.
So Rendell grabs his bags and put his jacket on, and I don't know what the exact rules are, but I'm assuming he cannot be anywhere near the field, so he starts to walk away from the
Maybe he was just getting
the field.
cold.
Might have been. He's going to have a chance to get warmed up now and maybe go watch the rest of the game on his computer. He can watch us call this game live on STSPN, but at any rate, he is done for the day. And number 2, Erin Scott, with her second at-bat of the game. She singled back in the first inning. Showing bunt here. Crampert pitching still. Fouls that one off behind us. 1-1 is the count.
Saw the camera shake.
I like how Rendell also pointed out to the umpire as he was arguing with him. He says, "I'm glad the cameras are here. You can go back and watch that later." So,
Yeah,
so you got your STSPN shout out there. That ball laced into right field. Base hit. Got a new right fielder this game too, we should point out, as Megan Bruce was playing there in the first game. Now playing the position is Chelsea Foster. Interesting story on Megan Bruce. I was talking to her dad during the break, again covering her high school games a couple of years ago, and they were at Mount Lake Terrace High School. And Megan was not planning on playing softball this year. She got a call a couple weeks ago, I guess, saying that they were short on some players and could she come out and play. And so her first game was just back on the 7th, and already she was starting on that day. She started the first game here today. Very similar story for her during the fall. She wasn't planning on cheering this year either, and then got called because they were short cheerleaders and cheered in high school. So she's getting quite the college experience so far, as that ball drops right in front of the center fielder. And on the play, Katie Jackson, number 15, gets a single. So she's on first base. Scott moving down to second.
Oh, yeah.
So first and second, nobody out.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it, but I do see some sun coming up from behind it.
Well, there you go. Let's hope. Bright light shining directly over our shoulder. Tanera Adams up for the second time today. Flew out to center field on an RBI sacrifice back in the first. Play that enabled Scott to tag up, and that ball's going to get away from Beisch, the catcher. Everybody advancing an extra base as Scott now heads over to third, Jackson over to second. Adams stepping back into the batter's box. Chops that one over to third base. Rayban fields it. Fires across the diamond and gets the out as Adams is put away. Nice job by Rayban to stay with that ball. She initially bobbled it. She's finally able to come up with it and in the process not only get the out but hold the runners where they are. And Emma Bedsworth now coming up for the second time today. Second time in this game, I should say. She doubled back in the first and later came around to score. Fouls that one off sharply down the third base line. Hits the fence. 0-1. Two runners in scoring position. Strike called. 0-2 is the count.
Now, when you get in an argument with the ump on a turf field, how do you kick dirt on his shoes?
You don't. I think that's why he just immediately went to the bench. Do they still kick the dirt? That was an old school thing as she flies out. Bedsworth taking up on the play and scoring relatively easily as Aaron Scott makes the score 9-2.
I know Lou Piniella was famous for...
I suppose you could still run out and pick up a base and throw it, which we've seen guys like Lou Piniella do over the years. But then again, turf field, maybe they're screwed in differently and they don't move off the bases either. Who knows? Tore up and trying to lay down a bunt. She singled back in the first inning. Oh, and that was...
Something happened.
It was a strike 3, but apparently the scoreboard shows 0-1, so I assumed that she had another strike, but... At any rate, the inning is over. They did get 1 run, so we head to the bottom of the second. Bellevue 9, Shoreline 2. You're watching STSPN. And welcome back to STSPN.com. Steve Willits along with Todd Elvick and Jerry Faulkner just giving us a little bit of an update as to what happened on that last play. And apparently the bunt that Erica Torr laid down, she ran into the ball, so they called batter interference, and therefore she was called out. So we didn't, in fact, miss a strike. We were wondering if maybe that was the call, but in fact it was a interference call. Batter out, ended the inning, and here we are. Bottom of the second. Jillian Rabin bunts that one, and making the catch there over at third base is number 23, Cassidy Mast. Quickly one away here. That will bring up number 4, Chelsea Foster. I mentioned earlier Foster sitting out the first game as Megan Bruce was playing right. Pitch is high. Nice catch by Katie Jackson. That riser almost got away from her. Foster on the season batting 1 for 11. Strike 2 as she swings and misses at that one.
Did you say you've got a game coming up tomorrow?
Oh, our next broadcast for Sound Life Sports Network?
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing a game on Wednesday.
On Wednesday?
Wednesday, boys baseball game, Edmonds Woodaway versus Meadowdale.
At Edmonds?
That is at Edmonds Woodaway High School, yeah. So that would be the next broadcast for us. And how about STSPN? Do you have any?
I have no idea.
Way to promote our broadcast upcoming, right?
Yeah, well, it usually winds up down to being the weather.
As is often the case,
Yeah.
I guess, in April in Seattle. Now, we're keeping our fingers crossed. It would be our second baseball broadcast of the season for high school. So certainly all April and May long, tune in to STSPN.com, also SoundLiveSportsNetwork.com for all your high school and community college sports. As Foster grounds out to shortstop, Scott fires that one across the diamond, gets her out. And we're heading back to the top of the lineup where Sarah Cassell will bat again. And she did okay for herself in her first at bat. Had the single that was thrown down the first base or right field line, and she went all the way from first to home on an error. On an error and a lot of speed, I might add. See if she can duplicate that again.
Yeah, she is
takes
fast.
the first pitch.
Let's say 2-1. Shoreline over Everett right now in the looks like the top of the 6th.
That's for the boys' game?
Yep.
So Shoreline 2, Everett 1. Swung on and missed.
Top of the 6th.
And that's a doubleheader also, as Shoreline won the first game 5-0. So nice pitching over there from the Dolphin men today. 1-1 count to Cassell. Takes that pitch, ball 2, 2-1. Yeah, Cassell, looking at her numbers here, she's got 36 at-bats, has only walked twice, so really 38 plate appearances, and she has 18 stolen bases.
Wow.
That's a pretty nice ratio. 2 balls, one strike. Dixon winds and pitches. Ball 3, 3-1. Maddie Roberts over on deck. Dixon ready to go. Here comes the pitch. Cassell lays down the bunt right back to the pitcher. Pulls the first baseman. Actually, that's Vidalin, the second baseman, covering the base. Pulls her off the base with the throw, and Cassell ends up safe at first. We'll be generous and call that a single. It was close. I think she might have beaten it out either way. It was going to be a very tight play at the bag, but Cassell, either way, ends up on the base. And let's see if they try to get her to steal here right off the bat. Add to that 18 stolen base total for the year. No, almost getting the ball past third base is Roberts. Kind of a half swing that almost worked. Just a few inches to the left of third base. Goes foul. Once again, that wind picking up and creating havoc with all of our paperwork here at the table.
Yeah, well, by the oh, there
pitch
she
is
goes.
high, and there goes Cassell. And guess what?
Safe.
Surprise, surprise. She's safe. Stolen base number 19. One count. If you're Roberts, are you taking here and letting Cassell try to get over to third base?
He's going to ground it. He's not going to pop it up.
Cassell gets the lead but doesn't go anywhere. 2-1 count. Jackson heading out to the mound to talk to Dixon. Perhaps she overheard us talking since we're about, 20 feet away from her when we're calling the game here. Maybe she heard the 19 stolen bases on the season and thought, maybe we should make sure that they're aware of that. Then again, when you're up by 7 runs, maybe you're not as concerned about the runner on second base, but either way, she goes out and has a conference with her pitcher. Now we're ready to go. Roberts rips that one into the outfield. Back. It is gone! Maddie Roberts, home run! Sarah Cassell doesn't need to steal that play. She can trot in, and Roberts with a huge smile on her face. Her first home run of the season. 9-4. Shoreline gets the deficit down to 5.
They're like listening to him.
Did you? One of the players just told Roberts as she was walking back to the dugout with him, that was the last thing I expected out of you. Nice, pleasant surprise. She'll take it. Roberts with a home run. Good for her. Roberts came into this game batting .179 on the year. She was 5 for 28, and all of her hits were singles. She only had 4 RBI coming into the day as well. I think she more than made up for it right there with a 2-run blast.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that.
It's the 3rd home run of the day already for Shoreline. And again, according to the stats we were given, they didn't have any home runs on the season before. I should say 3rd home run on the day, not the game. 2 in the first game of the doubleheader. Brandy Hannes now back up to the plate. 2-0 count. She drills one down the first base line, just foul. That was close. Another 6 inches over to the left, and she would have had herself a double. 2-1 is the count. "28 combined runs in the first game. We already have 13 here, and we're not even through the second inning. Plenty of action. Ball bounces into the plate. Jackson doing a nice job of blocking it to keep it in front of her. 3-1 count.
I certainly would rather have a 10-9 game than a 1-0 game.
Yeah, the baseball / softball purist likes a good pitcher's duel. I always like a lot of runs and hits. That's just me. Then again, having said that, those games tend to be quicker, and on a cold, windy day, strike right down around the knees, a little bit inside. Hannes thought it was a ball. She was ready to head down to first base. Jerry Faulkner told her otherwise. Full count, 2 outs here in the second inning. Bases are cleared. Shoots that ball over to second. Vidalin grabs it, throws it to Adams for the out, and we have come to the end of the second inning. Shoreline cutting away at that lead.
End of what? Yeah.
They score 2 more. We head to the third. The score, Bellevue 9, Shoreline 4. You're watching STSPN. And welcome back to Meridian Field here in Shoreline. 9-4. Bellevue with the 5-run lead after 2 innings of play. And Megan Lindgren getting her first at bat of this game. Grounds out to third. Rabin fires it across the diamond and gets her out. I mentioned Bellevue doing a quick substitution after the first inning. Taylor Turner had 2 at-bats, scored 2 runs, and they figured with an 8-run lead they'd go ahead and give her the rest of the day off, and Lindgren now getting some playing time. Nicole Tiffany with her 3rd at-bat of the game.
Just click that one.
2 doubles for Tiffany here in the second game of the doubleheader. 2 RBI as well to go along with the 8 RBI she had in the first game of the doubleheader. Ball bounces up to the plate. Ball 2, 2-0. Tiffany showing bunt, pulls back, swings away and hits that one into the outfield. Fading back on its Aversano. She looks up. It is gone. Oh, wait. They're going to say it hit the top of the fence, and they are finally going to signal home. Hit the top of the fence, stayed within the netting, and then bounced onto the field of play. Nicole Tiffany with the home run. Her 3rd RBI of this game alone. Before she was batting other people in, this time takes care of herself and allows herself to trot around the bases. So 2 doubles and a home run here in the first 3 innings of play. And the score is now 10-4. Bellevue in control once again. And we'll bring up number 23, Cassidy Mast. Mast, who hit the grand slam last game. Also with a double and a single in the second game of the doubleheader. Brittany Crampert continuing to pitch. Mast lining that one down the right field line in to right field where Foster makes the catch. 2 away, and that will bring up Tess Dixon. Tiffany of the last Tiffany now pull up some stats here. 5 home runs on the season, 2 of which coming today, and now Tess Dixon stepping back into the batter's box. And who would have thought that Bellevue would have 5 home runs on the day and this young lady here at the plate would not have one of them? Coming into this game, Bellevue had 35 on the season, and she had 14 of those. Check swing, fouls that one off. 1-1 is the count. (10-4), Bellevue in control right now, top of the 3rd inning. 2 out, nobody on. Pitch is outside and low, ball 2, 2-1. This will not be the last broadcast we do this season as Dixon drills that, just hits it foul. It had the distance. If it had been hit about 4 feet over to the right, it would have been gone as it hits that netting above the white line, which signifies a home run. And unfortunately for Dixon, just hit on the wrong side of the foul pole. Just try to give another one a ride here. She's now looking at a 3-1 count. Pops that one up into the air. Beisch takes off the mask, and that ball hits directly behind us, right over the fence here. 3-2 is the count. Good news for me is I have a tent above me. The bad news is that if the ball hits directly above it, I'm not sure how much support I'm getting, and that ball missed me by about 5 feet. Full count. Dixon drills this one into center field. Back is Cassell to the warning track. Makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning, but not before Nicole Tiffany hits a solo home run, giving Bellevue another run in this game. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Bellevue 10, Shoreline 4. You're watching STSPN. Welcome back to STSPN. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning, and Hannah Beisch, the catcher, leading off for the Dolphins. 10-4 is our score. Bellevue with 8 runs in the first, 1 run in the second, 1 in the third. Shoreline scoring 2 runs in each of the first and second innings. Beisch with a 1-1 count. She hit into a fielder's choice to shortstop back in the first inning, which led to an RBI. Strike called, 1-2. Tess Dixon continues to throw on the mound. Right-hander bounces that one up to the plate. Ball 2, 2-2. Dixon looking in for the signal, finally ready to pitch. Strike 3, gets Beisch looking. That ball had a little lift on it and caught the corner. Second strikeout of the game for Dixon. First one since the first inning, and that's going to bring up Emily Jackson. Jackson, who was robbed of a base hit back in the first inning, has Gabrielle Vidalin with a diving stop at second base while laying on her back, flipped it over to the base where Erin Scott, the shortstop, was covering, and was able to touch the base and get a force out on Hannah Beisch. Let's see what Jackson can do in her second at bat here. So far, so good, as she's taken 2 pitches, both for balls. 2-0 count. Riser's a little bit high, ball 3, 3-0. Brittany Crampert on deck, followed by Amanda Aversano. Dixon taking her time on the mound. Strike called. Jackson thought it was a ball. She started to run towards first. 3-1 is the count. It's Todd Elvick joining us again. Todd, you'll have to give us an update here as you've just returned from the baseball game. Ball's popped up in the air. Katie Jackson making the catch in foul territory.
3-2.
Is that a final?
No.
3. Who has the 3 and who has the 2?
Seventh. Shoreline.
Shoreline 3.
Shoreline 3.
Everett 2.
Everett 2.
Okay. Shoreline trying to get the sweep there as they won the first game 5-0. 2 outs here in the third, and Brittany Crampert now stepping to the plate. Crampert was hit by a pitch on the foot back in the first inning. Just noticing here is we're pulling up some news. Apparently Jordan Spieth are winning the Masters today. 21 years old.
I saw where the old guy got hole-in-one.
Jack Nicklaus, yeah, the other day during the par 3. Not bad for a 75-year-old guy, right? Give us both of us hope.
Bad.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
I think he might be a little better than both of us, even though he's 75. Swung on and missed. This Crampert now has a 2-1 count on her. I guess it's Spieth, right? Jordan Spieth. 21 years old, and he won the Masters today. Not a bad day. Not a bad week for him. That ball's hit deep. On the warning track, though, making the catch. That is number 13, Emma Bedsworth. And that is the third out of the inning, so no damage done here. No score in the third inning for Shoreline. We head to the fourth. Bellevue 10, Shoreline 4. You're watching STSPN. And welcome back to STSPN.com. Steve Willits along with Todd Elvick. As I attempt to chase down my papers that are getting ready to get blown all over the place here, as well as my scorebook. Todd, it's picking up again.
And I noticed there's a lot of dust on my laptop.
Which is, Todd just mentioned that he's getting dust on his laptop, which is weird because there's no dirt around here, but can't blame the dirt field,
pollen.
Obviously.
Maybe it's pollen.
It could be a pollen, who knows, as Aaron Scott is up to the plate. Looking at a 1-1 count right now. Pitch is high, ball 2, 2-1.
She was showing bunt and then didn't go for it. I am up, right?
Well, Scott, who has been on base twice already in this game, scored twice too. 3-1 count. Crampert with the wind. Here comes the pitch. Scott pops that one up along. Hannah's making one away. We'll bring up number 15, the catcher, Katie Jackson. Jackson with a double and a single already today. Takes the first pitch high, ball 1, 1-0. Crampert not wasting much time. She's ready to go again. Jackson hits that one down the right field line. It drops fifth. Jackson's going to head towards second base as Foster goes to dig it out. Apparently hasn't got it yet, and Jackson heading towards third, where she has a stand-up triple. And we, unfortunately, where we're sitting, we can't see down the right field line, so we lose perspective of where things are once the ball goes down there, other than to see that the ball landed in fair territory. And I don't know if Foster bobbled it or what, but at any rate, comes up with it a little bit slowly, and Jackson motors around for a triple. She's now a home run away from a, let's see here, that is in fact correct. Home run away from hitting for the cycle. Double, single, and a triple in her first 3 at-bats.
Well, I talked with the Shoreline coach while I was over there checking out the baseball broadcast.
Ben Rendell's over there?
Yes. And,
if you're tuning in late out of this game for arguing balls and strikes in the first, as Hannah's makes another snag of a ball. This one was hit.
He was a little upset about a ball that went down the that was called foul also, and I'm sad to report that I don't think we catch the diamond, but we're not catching the out. We're not catching the foul balls out past first or third. He'll be a little upset with it, I think.
Bedsworth back at the plate again. Yeah, he was not a really happy camper when he was walking off the diamond after that first inning.
Nope, he's over there complaining pretty hard, actually.
So apparently when you get thrown out of a game, you can't stay and watch your own game, but you can go watch the baseball game.
Oh, yeah.
Nice shot there by Bedsworth. Unfortunately for her, able to recover it is Hannah's, and she is out. And that is the end of the inning. No runs coming across the plate for Bellevue this time. It's the first time all day they've been held scoreless in an inning. We head to the bottom of the fourth. The score is still 10-4. You're watching STSPN. And welcome back to STSPN.com. Steve Willits along with Todd Elvick, bringing you baseball and softball action here from Meridian Field in Shoreline today. Keith Neely over on the call doing the baseball game, which is just about wrapped up, and that's also available to be watched on STSPN. We recommend that you do it after you watch this game and go back and watch the
of course,
the on-demand, because we don't want to lose our audience here. But certainly if you're a Shoreline Dolphin fan, you can watch both. And making the catch out in left field, that is Tor. Well, actually, that is not Tor. That's Bedsworth now playing over in left field. Did not catch that change earlier. Tor was playing out there initially. So Bedsworth makes the catch, one away. It's going to bring up Jillian Rabin. Strike called, 0-1 count to Rabin. Tess Dixon continuing to pitch here. So the weather, although cold, has been cooperative in the sense that no rain delays today. No rain out or rain delay. That's what we like to see. And coming into this weekend, we weren't sure what we were going to get.
Well, now we got a little bit of sun coming out over here.
It's trying. Ooh, and that ball is fouled over towards the Bellevue dugout, and everybody
west of us
running for cover there is Rabin.
I don't know if that's going to count because it's too low in the sky to heat anything up.
Yeah, I don't think it's helping much at this point. It looks good. It's giving us a little bit of extra daylight, but other than that, it's not doing much. 2-1 count. Ball 3-3. Actually, they've changed the scoreboard now. I was wondering about that. Apparently, it was a 1-2 count prior to that. Now it's 2-2. Rabin tries to bunt. They say she struck out. Missed it. And it's 2 outs here in the 4th inning. That is the 3rd strikeout on the afternoon for Dixon. 2 away. That's going to bring up number 4, Chelsea Foster. Yeah, we say sunshine, but then I look over and the outfield there and above them, out to the north and to the east, and there are a lot of dark clouds over there. Foster fouls that one up high off the top of the fence there. 0-1 count. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Foster hits that one towards shortstop. Scott fields it, fires it across the diamond, and gets the out. A 1-2-3 inning for Shoreline. We head to the 5th. Bellevue 10, Shoreline 4. You're watching STSPN. And we are back again here at Meridian Field, heading to the 5th inning. Bellevue 10, Shoreline 4. The winds continue to swirl, and Erica Torr steps to the plate. Bunts the ball back to the mound. Crampert throws it down towards first base. It gets by Hanna's. Was backed up rather nicely by Foster, and having to hold at first base with a single is Erica Torr. And we head back to the top of the lineup where Megan Lindgren will come up to the plate for her second at-bat of the day. Again, Lindgren coming in as a substitute for Taylor Turner after Turner's 2 at-bats in the first inning. Lindgren grounding out to third base in her first at-bat and stealing on the play. And sliding in safely at second base is Erica Torr. That was a stolen base all the way as Lindgren with a kind of a half swing, knowing that she wasn't even trying to make contact, just wanted to try to throw off Hannah Beisch, the catcher. Crampert winds and throws. 1-1 is the count. I was using the break a moment ago to read up on the Mariner game today. It sounded like they had quite the day.
I have no idea what the score is over there.
Well, it's a final now. As ball is hit down the third baseline, Rabin throws it across the diamond. Hannah's makes the catch this time. 1 away as Torr ends up on third on the sacrifice. And as we catch up our scorebook here for just a moment, I'll get you updated on that game in just a second. A thrilling game at that. So that'll bring up Nicole Tiffany. Tiffany, who is 2 doubles and a home run so far in this game, and coming home to score on a wild pitch is Erica Torr. It is now 11-4 Bellevue. Bases are cleared, so Tiffany, if she wants an RBI on this at-bat, she's going to have to do it herself again. She's had 1 RBI in each of her first 3 at-bats, 2 of which were doubles and 1 was a solo home run. This time she lines it over to short. Jackson makes a nice snag on the ball. Throw is not in time, however, as Tiffany hustles down the line. She's safe at first, but really a nice play by Emily Jackson to come up with that ball. Stuck her glove out there and grabbed it. So the Mariners had a 7-3 lead heading into the 9th inning today, thanks to a Ricky Weeks 3-run pinch hit home run earlier in the game. Fernando Rodney, the closer, had come in. This ball is lined back to Jackson again. She's going to flip this one to second. Throw on to first, not in time, but they do get the lead runner out. So Tiffany is retired. On the play, Mast ending up on first. It's going to bring up Tess Dixon. Fernando Rodney coming in and could not quite get the job done. Gave up 4 runs in the 9th inning to tie the game up. And then newly acquired Nelson Cruz. Ball is lined into left field for a base hit for Dixon. She heads over to first base, Mast to second. Nelson Cruz in the 10th inning, a solo home run, ended up being the difference. Mariners getting their 2nd straight extra innings victory over the Oakland Athletics. 8-7 is the final score. So they're having a nice road trip down there so far.
Absolutely.
After getting off to a bit of a rough start, starting out the season 1-3, they've now evened their record on the year. Strike called. It's Aaron Scott back at the plate. Two runners on, 2 out. Swinging and missing for strike 2 is Scott. Crampert, who after giving up 8 runs in the first inning, has settled down rather nicely. Scott hits that one over to third. Rabin throws it across to Hannes. Hannes makes the putout, and for the 2nd straight inning, Bellevue gets held scoreless. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Should I take that back? We did get 1 run in there at that time. So 1 run comes across the plate. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Bellevue 11, Shoreline 4. You're watching STSPN. Welcome back to the fifth inning here on STSPN. The bottom of the fifth inning, to be exact. Shoreline trailing 11-4, looking to get back in this ball game. And the leadoff hitter, Sarah Cassell, steps to the plate. 2 singles today, or 2 singles in this game, I should say, for Cassell. A stolen base. She's scored twice already. 2 of the 4 runs for the Dolphins. Fouls that one off against the fence. 1-1 is the count. Cassell looking down the third baseline, getting the signal. I think Carly Merlich, I believe the one down there coaching third now, is, in case you're joining, the head coach. And we know what she did last time up. She just happened to hit one over the fence. First home run on the season for her. Hits this one into center field and floating over towards left and making the grab is Nicole Tiffany, the center fielder. Roberts is out. And that will bring up Brandy Hannes. This game going much quicker after that first inning in which these two teams combined for 10 runs. Both pitchers seem to be settling down and outs are coming much quicker now. 1-0 is the count to Hannes. Tess Dixon continuing to pitch. Strike called. Inside corner, 1-1. Hannes walked back in the first, grounded out to second in the second inning. Just noticing since the Maddie Roberts home run back in the second inning, Dixon has retired 9 straight batters now. 3 balls and 1 strike here in this fifth inning, 2 outs. Ball 4 ends the streak of 9 consecutive. Went through the entire lineup though. Getting them every which way too. She has had 3 strikeouts, 2 groundouts, and 4 flyouts in that stretch. Hannah Beisch, who struck out back in the third, coming up to the plate with 2 outs here in the fifth. Check swing, fouls it off. Strike 1. Continue to watch and monitor the other baseball game happening behind us. This is Shoreline last we checked. 3-2 lead in the bottom of the 7th inning. By over to third, making the easy catches mast, and that is the end of any kind of a rally that was going to happen here in the 5th inning. 1 runner stranded, no runners cross home plate. We head to the 6th inning. Our score, Bellevue 11, Shoreline 4. You're watching STSPN. And welcome back to STSPN.com. We head to the 6th inning of play. Bellevue, thanks to an 8-run first inning, continues to lead here 11-4. Second game of a doubleheader. Bellevue taking the first game 22-6. So if you're looking for a moral victory, if you will, if you're Shoreline, at least this game, as of right now, is closer anyway. But then again, Bellevue erupted for 9 of those 22 runs in the 6th inning in the first game. Katie Jackson hits that one down the left field line into foul territory, and right in between all of the fielders. Nobody able to get that one as Aversano, Jackson, and Rabin all over to take a look at it. 0-1 count to Jackson. Mentioned earlier, she is a home run away from the cycle. Strike called, 0-2. We know she has home run capability. She's hit a few already this year. Almost hit one in that first game off a double high off the wall in center field. Reaches out at that ball and fouls it off. Looking at the stats here right now. 2 home runs for the year for Jackson heading into the day. Hits that one into center field. And making the nice catch is Cassell. Reaching up. That one looked like it might be getting ready to float over her head, and she was able to snag that at its highest point. 1 away, and that's going to bring up number 25, Tanera Adams. First pitch is high, ball 1, 1-0. A lot of credit going to Krampert and to Dixon right now, both pitchers in this game going the distance after a rocky first inning and really kind of into the second inning for that matter too. It was 9-4 after the second inning of play, and since that time, Bellevue scoring 2 runs over 3 1/3 innings. Shoreline getting shut down entirely over 3 innings. That ball's hit deep. Cassell floats back towards right field, this time onto the warning track, and makes another catch, her second straight catch, as Adams is retired. We'll bring up Emma Bedsworth. Or will it? It looks like we might have a pinch hitter now. Allie Roselli is going to come in and pinch hit. Roselli, one of the 4 Bulldogs to have a home run in the 6th inning in the first game. That game she pinch hit for Gabrielle Vidalin. This game she's pinch hitting for Emma Bedsworth.
7 for 13.
I was going to say, Todd, nice of both Chris Zacher and Jerry Faulkner, the 2 umpires. Both have been great about coming over to us after each substitution and letting us know who's coming in and who's not. You and I have both done plenty of baseball and softball games at the high school level where we don't get that courtesy, so I appreciate them for doing that. And Roselli hits that one all the way into the outfield and up against the fence. It's a line shot, though, so Cassell was able to get it rather quickly and get it back into play, holding Roselli to a very long single.
I know he was asking you earlier about a TV timeout, and we said, no, that's fine. We don't need to take that.
Although there was one time in the 5th inning last game where we could have used a TV timeout.
Oh, absolutely.
Ball gets away, a wild pitch as it goes out to the dugout, or backstop, I should say, and Roselli heads down to second base.
Well, according to the YouTube stats, the baseball game is going on 2 hours now.
Beautiful bunt put down by Erica Torr, about 10 feet in front of the front of home plate there, and Hannah Bice just had nowhere to go with that one. Torr with an excellent infield single on the play. Roselli heads down to third, so runners at the corner, 2 outs here in the 6th. We go back to the top of the lineup where Megan Lindgren will bat. Lindgren grounding out to third on both of her at-bats in this game so far, one of which was a sacrifice as Tor heads on down to second base with a stolen base. So now both runners in scoring position. Chops that one down the third base line, foul. Lindgren now with a 1-1 count. And then once again, the wind starts to pick up. Hits that one over to short. Jackson grabs it, throws it across, gets the put out at first base. So no harm done with 2 runners left on base. No scoring here in the 6th inning. We head to the bottom half of the 6th. Bellevue 11, Shoreline 4. You're watching STSPN.
There you go. No, you're.
And welcome back. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning in what has become a little bit of a pitcher's duel after the first 2 innings. Our score 11-4 here in the 6th. I say that jokingly because it was 9-4 after the 2nd inning. If you want to take it one step further, it was 8-2 after the 1st inning, and really Dixon and Crampert both having nice outings since that time. Jackson talking to each other there at home plate. Emily Jackson, number 25 for Shoreline, and Katie Jackson, number 15 for Bellevue.
Re-in for 13 and re-in for 8.
So we got a couple more changes. It was 3 in for 13 and
8's back in at the top. 13's back in at the 8th spot.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Sherry Faulkner again coming, letting us know what's going on there. If we got that correctly, it sounds like Taylor Turner might be back in the game for Bellevue. We'll see what all these changes are. Emily Jackson steps in and awaits the pitch.
Who?
Emily Jackson.
Oh. I thought you said Moni Jackson for a minute, and I was like...
High school player in local high school. Edmonds Woodaway. That's a lot of Jackson. Jackson catching, Jackson at the plate.
Funny how your head plays tricks on you.
Ball 2. 2-0 is the count. Dixon winds, and here comes the pitch. Ball 3, 3-0. Brittany Crampert on deck. She'll be followed by Amanda Aversano. Heard a little cheer come from the baseball field just now, so perhaps that game might have just concluded. Ball 4. Jackson on 4 straight pitches, walks. She gets on down to first base. And we'll bring up
luck. I
the
still
pitcher.
see him standing
Still
out there.
see action happening out on the field, huh? Would not have thought it 10 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago, but perhaps we'll even catch them and finish this game off before they're done.
I would have not thought that.
They were in the 3rd inning before we even started. As Jackson attempts a steal, and they throw her out. Nice throw by Katie Jackson to nail her at the second base. Scott covering the base, making the tag. 1 away. That's the first caught stealing we've had all day so far. We've had a few stolen bases from both teams. So one away. What's going on here now? We've got Jackson standing over on second base. Apparently, Carly Merlich, the assistant coach for Shoreline, over talking to our field umpire. It's Chris Zacher. Zacher and Faulkner now talking to one another. They are, in fact, going to say she was thrown out, so she heads back towards the dugout. She was out, she was safe, and now she's out. Still only counts as one out, though.
That's right. Well, I was waiting for the assistant coach to start.
To see how many coaches we can get thrown out in one.
That's right.
Yeah, how does that work at the end? Does one of the parents come onto the field and coach at that point? Ball is high. 2-0 is the count. Tess Dixon comes in with the next pitch. Fouled off behind us over our heads.
Right where my truck would have been.
There you go. So apparently they were helping you out by making you move the truck earlier. Hey, you hadn't really thought about that, had you? Had you thought that far ahead when you parked the truck right off the
I did.
The first baseline?
Did you notice I put a big over my hood?
Ball is fouled as well. It's right over near the batter's box. 2-2.
Nope, I had a big old thick blanket that I laid out over the hood.
And you were feeling pretty confident that was going to take care of any foul ball that you had, huh?
Any foul ball that's coming straight down at my hood. Now maybe the window.
How about the window, yeah. You want to take care of the windshield there? Crampert hits that one and sharply fielded. Making the play, a beautiful play is Aaron Scott. Dives to her right, snags the ball, gets up and throws it across the diamond. That is out number 2. One of the better plays we've seen all day. Scott with a big smile on her face, and rightfully so. She earned that one. And that will bring up Amanda Aversano. Aversano takes the first pitch, high, outside, ball 1, 1-0. Dixon winds. Ball 2. It's an interesting inning here for the Dolphins. They've had one base runner get caught stealing. Another one was robbed of a hit on a great
stealing. I'm not sure.
On a great play. Yeah, it doesn't sound right, does it? Baseball terms that you don't like to hear outside of baseball, right?
Yeah.
Sounds very mischievous. 2-1 is the count to Aversano. High ball 3, 3-1. Then again, if you're Aaron Scott, you might think that wasn't really robbing of a play. That's just what I do. It's just a common play for me. Aversano fouls that one off. Down the third base line. Full count coming up. One more inning to go after this. Shoreline. 4 more outs to get 7 runs or more, or else they're going to lose this second game of a doubleheader as Aversano takes ball 4 on the play. She heads down to first base, and that will bring up Jillian Rabin.
Oh, there's a little dog over there on the other side that's been they've been playing catch with it or frisbee or something. Boy, he's having a good old time.
He's much warmer than we are right now, I think.
So.
Not just because of the body hair. I think the running around is probably keeping him a little bit warmer as well. Body hair doesn't hurt, though.
I wasn't going to go there.
Yeah.
I started game 1 out with something about sweat, and now we're into body hair. Shouldn't we have that for baseball?
I blame the dog. I blame the dog. 1-1 is the count. I'm just looking for an excuse to be warm right now. It's chilly out here. When you asked me to do these games originally, Todd, I thought you were promising me 70-degree weather and sunshine, and didn't realize I'd be under a tent freezing, but it's okay. We're having a good time out here.
Yeah, I think it was 70 cents.
The only things that have been hot today are the bats of Bellevue, but other than that, everything's pretty cold around here. 1-2 is the count to Rabin.
Here you go. You need to warm your hand up?
Yeah, I think I'm good. I'm not going to touch your equipment there. That's anytime we've got computer equipment overheating, that's never a good sign, is it? Or is that?
Oh, no. It's warm is fine. It's when it's hot.
It's when it gets too hot. Okay. It's when my hands can't touch it. That's when we have a problem.
Exactly.
Okay, that's fair enough. 1-2 is still the count to Rabin. Might just go play catch with that dog during the in between innings to warm up here. I don't think I'm going to use your computer equipment, and that is a strike. Rabin gets called out on the play, and that is the end of the 6th inning. So again, Todd and I are going to figure out a way to warm up, maybe go play catch with a dog out in center field. But other than that, we're down to our final inning. Bellevue 11, Shoreline 4. You're watching STSPN. Welcome back to Meridian Field, and welcome back to the 7th inning, the final inning. Softball game here between the Bulldogs and the Shoreline Dolphins. Bellevue with the 11-4 lead, presumably batting for the final time today. And stepping up to the plate, Nicole Tiffany fouls that one off. 0-2.
Well, I'm going to go check on our status
on your baseball game?
antenna.
You're going to go check your antenna, okay. Yeah. Up on the hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Todd pointed out to me a minute ago that his STSPN antenna is up on a hill. Or you said it was back behind us, and I looked, and it's up on a little bit of a hill. It's a mound, if you will, in the grass. And kind of joking that, the big three downtown have their up on top of a hill also, but it's Queen Anne Hill, and it's a much taller tower. You have yours on a mound, and it stands about 2 feet tall. So, so if we're not getting great reception, we know why, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'll be right back.
Okay, you check on that. We'll be right here. As Nicole Tiffany now looking at a 1-2 count. Outside ball 2-2. Tiffany 2 doubles, a home run, and a single in this game. 4 for 4. 3 RBI as well. Fouls that one away. Count remains 2-2. Jerry Faulkner, the umpire, running out of softballs now as that one's fouled away. So he's heading over to the Shoreline dugout to get a few more so that we can finish this game off and get those other balls back into play. Should have more than he needs now as he grabs a couple from Shoreline, and then meanwhile somebody from the Bellevue dugout also rolls one onto the field of play. 2-2 count to Nicole Tiffany. Tiffany awaits the Brittany Crampert pitch. Hit down the third base line, fielded by Rabin, thrown across the diamond, and Hannes makes the catch. One away. Cassidy Mast. Mast a double, a single, a fly out, and then also a fielder's choice. This time she flies out to right field. Foster makes the catch. 2 away. That's going to bring up Tess Dixon. Dixon has flown out to short, to right, and to center, and then also has a single in this game, 1 for 4. Hits that one into center field, and that is definitely a home run at number 15 for Tess Dixon on the season. Makes the score 12-4. Cassell looks up and has no play on that one. It was gone from the moment it left her bat. Dixon being congratulated at home plate by the entire Bulldogs team. We were wondering if we were going to see her hit one out today, and lo and behold, she saves the best for last. Solo home run. Makes the score 12-4. That will bring up Erin Scott for her 5th at-bat of the game. 2 singles, a pop-up to first, also ground out to third. Scott takes the first pitch, ball 1. Todd Elvick returning. Did we get a score from over there in the baseball game, Todd?
9-2, Everett.
Everett is now ahead 9-2. Ball is hit over to Jackson, throws it across the diamond. And that is the final out of the inning. 1 run on 1 hit, and it was a big one. A Tess Dixon shot over the center field wall. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. The score, Bellevue 12, Shoreline 4. You're watching STSPN. And welcome back to Meridian Field. Bottom of the 7th inning. Chelsea Foster, Sarah Cassell, and Maddie Roberts due up for the Dolphins. So they now trail 12-4. This second game of the doubleheader. Closer game than the first one we had, in which Bellevue won 22-6. Strike called. Foster has grounded out to shortstop twice today. Now looking at an 0-2 count. Inside ball 1, 1-2. Tess Dixon looking for the complete game. Ball is hit over to third base. Mast initially coming up with it, dropped it as she tried to make the transition from glove to hand. Couldn't get the ball out in time, and over on first base, we'll give her an infield single, as that was going to be close either way. Chelsea Foster getting on base to lead off this inning, and that will bring up Sarah Cassell. An umpire coach conference right now, as apparently we're going to have another lineup change. pinch runner coming in, apparently. That's what the change was about. So Hannah Malhan will come in and pinch run for Foster. Malhan wearing the jacket over there on first base. The envy of many of these players right now, I'm sure, as the wind continues to blow. Sarah Cassell singling in the first and came around to score on an error. Singled in the second, struck out in the fifth. Takes the first pitch for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Dixon winds, and here comes the pitch. Ball 2, 2-0. Maddie Roberts on deck. Roberts with a home run back in the second inning. She'd like to have another chance to potentially do that again. This one is bunt fouled. Back to the catcher. 2-1 is the count. Dixon looks in for the sign. She's ready. Here comes the pitch. Cassell bunts it right in front of the plate. Mast picks it up, running in, has no play anywhere. Again, once that ball is bounced once or twice, Cassell is pretty much already on first base. And Malhan doing a nice job to get down to second on the play. 2 runners on, nobody out, and that will bring up Maddie Roberts. Roberts, as we mentioned, home run back in the second inning. She's also singled back in the first. Flew out to center in the fifth. Waits the first pitch from Dixon. Swings and hits a trickler to first base. On the play, Adams tries to go over to third base. Throw pulls Mast off the base. She drops it. Everybody is safe. The bases are full right now with nobody out. Roberts gets on a fielder's choice, and Brandy Hannes now is going to come up with the bases loaded. Hannes walking in the first, grounded out to second in the second inning, then walked again in the fifth. We're going to get a little conference here on the mound. 12-4 is our score.
So it's actually the bottom of the ninth is 6-2, not 9-2.
So we were getting an update from Todd Elvick here. The score is 6-2. Shoreline baseball
I was not on.
Ahead of Everett. What's that?
Everett is ahead of Shoreline.
Oh, Everett's ahead of Shoreline. Okay, so not only did we not have the right score, we had the wrong team ahead. So we were so close. So it's not 2.
We were close.
We had 9-2 Shoreline. It's actually 6-2 Everett over there in the boys' game.
That's correct.
Okay, so Everett boys leading the Shoreline boys 6-2. Baseball game happening directly behind us. In this game here, Bellevue leading Shoreline 12-4. As if we haven't confused everybody enough. Here we go. Hannes takes the first pitch, strike 1. So it sounds as though we might end up getting a split over there on the other field, barring a big comeback from the Dolphin baseball team. Then again, hey, the Mariners had a 4-run lead going into the ninth today and almost lost that game. 1-1 count here to Hannes. Malhan at third. Cassell at second. Roberts at first. 2-1 count to Brandy Hannes. Hannah Beisch on deck. That's confusing. You go to Hannes, last name Hannes, first name Hannah right behind her. Something that, by the way, nice hit. Huh? They hit the foul pole on the. That should almost be a home run, shouldn't it? Yeah. She hit a foul ball over the first base dugout, which hit the foul pole on the adjacent field for the baseball.
That is correct. I'd like to see it go into the baseball field.
I was going to point out Hannah Beisch, wherever she goes, she's got a form of Hannah around her, because right now she follows Brandy Hannes in the lineup. On her high school team, her junior year, she batted third. I'm sorry, she batted fourth, and the leadoff hitter and the number 2 hitter were also first named Hannah. So 3 of the 4 hitters for the Mount Lake Terrace softball team in 2013 named Hannah.
I guess that was a popular...
Apparently. Well, I guess in Brandy Hannah's case, it's a last name, and they decided to put an S on the end of it just to avoid confusion, perhaps. Maybe it was meant to be Hannah initially. Who knows? This is what we talk about in the 7th inning of a doubleheader.
Yeah. It starts to get a lot of control.
Hannes lines that one into right field, base hit. Mulhan coming in to score, making it a 12-5 game. On the play, Cassell going down to third, Roberts to second. Now Hannah Beisch coming up with the bases juiced in a 12-5 game here in the 7th inning. I'm not sure if we're going to have another pinch runner or not here. I can guarantee you they're definitely not going to put a pinch hitter in there. We'll let Hannah Beisch hit. She's your cleanup hitter. She's exactly what you want at the plate right now. And in fact, that is what's going to happen. Is Megan Bruce coming in to pinch run for Brandy Hannes.
I think there's another dog over there now.
24 for 23 plus.
Another sign that we're in the 7th inning of a doubleheader. We're now counting dogs out in the outfield.
Because it was kind of a goldish colored dog. Now there's a black one over there.
I don't even see what you're talking about. I'm looking
kind of look under the fence and watch them go back and forth.
Riveting conversation for our audience, I'm sure, as Beisch takes ball one. You're pointing at dogs. I'm pointing out that I can't see the dogs.
See under the fence there. See, there he goes.
There we go.
And the audience can actually see him too.
Potentially a pinch runner here in a minute. We've already had 2 in this inning. Beisch lines it in the left field, base hit. Cassell coming in to score. That makes it a 12-6 game. Everybody else
and no outs,
holding up where they are. So bases are still loaded. As Cassell comes in to score. Roberts heads down to third. Hannes, well, actually Bruce, who's pinch running for Hannes, at second base. Beisch over on first base. Emily Jackson, who already has 1 home run today, now at the plate, and with 1 swing of the bat, she could make this a 2-run game. Inside corner, strike 1.
What did he say?
One of the fans for Shoreline right to our right here said, "For a second I thought you were doing well," in reference to the umpire. Ball bounces up to the plate. Ball 2.
Oh, you gotta love these. You gotta
Some
love
of the best things that I've, my favorite moments, high school and college sporting events, listening to parents in the stands. It's almost more enjoyable than the game sometimes. It's fun stuff. Some of them are very witty. It's always entertaining. 2-1 is the count. Emily Jackson looking to get something going here. 2 runs already in this inning. Bases are loaded. No outs. Outside, ball 3. 3-1. One ball away from walking in a run. Tess Dixon, who had been so tough for the middle part of this game, had a stretch where she retired 9 batters in a row, and suddenly she's struggling. This ball is hit foul directly behind us. Out of play. Full count to Jackson.
It's chilly.
And the winds have not let up. Every time they come back around, they're stronger than they were the first time. Dixon winds and throws. Ball 4. Jackson heads to first base. Coming in to score is Maddie Roberts, the 3rd run of the inning. Bases are still loaded here. Brings up Brittany Crampert, and we're going to get a switch on the mound here as Tess Dixon, who pitched 6 innings plus, He's going to take a seat on the bench. And coming back in is Brooke Bonson.
Looks like they're all finished up over there. Not sure what the final score
over
was.
there being the baseball field. So the baseball game has concluded.
You mean people can't see where I'm saying it? When I lean my head
with your hand motions? No, I don't think they can. Mentioned earlier, Bonson, who is an ERA of 2.48 coming into the day, pitched fairly well in the first game of the doubleheader here. Didn't get the start, but came in relief. She's going to get a chance to close this one out. Well, Todd, it's been a fun game. I got to tell you, after watching the 22-6 game early on and then seeing an 8-run first inning, I didn't know what we'd get here, but we're suddenly getting a good ball game.
18 for 12. The DP is playing defense.
Once again, Jerry Faulkner giving us an update as to what's going on here and letting us know that Bonson is coming into the game for apparently number 12, so it'll be Erica Torr, which means that if we're looking out there, this is their way of keeping Dixon in the lineup.
I tell you, she looks like a closer. And you see how she's pointing around to certain things? She's kind of directing traffic.
She's actually their main pitcher. She leads the team in starting pitching this year. She's coming into the day, she had started 10 of their 22 games. She had 10 starts, Lockwood had 7, Dixon had 5. She's pitched about half of the innings this year so far for Bellevue.
Well, I thought it sounded kind of nice calling her the closer. Well, she is the closer today.
She is today. Closer, starter. She has 7 complete games on record this year, too. So she's kind of whatever they need her to be on the mound. Strike 3 with 3 pitches and 3 strikes as Brittany Crampert is out. 1 away, and that's going to bring up Amanda Aversano.
She's got control of this club.
Coming in with a fresh arm, too. She hasn't pitched in a couple hours now. Ball was low, ball 1. Aversano with Raben on deck. Strike right over the plate, 1-1.
So somebody likes the golfing. There's something about don't be golfing now.
It's Masters weekend. It's get those ready every once in a while. Down low, ball 2, 2-1.
Oh, I see. The fans are liking the good eye when it's a ball. Bad eye when it's a strike.
It's usually how fans are, right? Fouling that one off. It's 2-2. I've always said I've yet to go to a game where, especially at the high school level and college level, where you have you can actually hear the parents and know who they are and where they're sitting. I've yet to go to a game where the parents have just thought every single call was perfect.
Yeah.
One of these days I want to attend one of those games. Aversano hits that one into center. Center. Was that a catch? It was, in fact, a catch. Nicole Tiffany grabs that one off the shoestrings. I wasn't sure if she had trapped it at first, but she indeed did make the catch. 2 away, and give her a lot of credit for playing shallow that time. If she had been back further, there's no way she would have gotten to that ball in time. It's up to Jillian Rabin to keep this rally alive. Right down the middle, strike 1. Rabin, the 9th batter of the inning for the Dolphins. 0-1 count. Hits that one over to second. Medallin makes the put out.
That's a ball
and
game.
That is the end of the ball game. Our final score, Bellevue 12, Shoreline 7.
Thank you for tuning in.
Absolutely. So we, again, Bellevue 34 runs on the afternoon, 22 in the first game, 12 in this game. And usually if you score 34 runs over 2 games, you're going to get a sweep on the day, and that's exactly what they did. So as we mentioned earlier, Bellevue still holding on to second place as of right now, depending on what Douglas is doing. Bellevue running their overall record to 18 wins and 8 losses on the season. Their conference record now 10 wins and 2 losses. Shoreline unfortunately falling to 1-14 overall, and they are still looking for their first win in conference. But Todd Elvick, thank you for having me today. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
And it's been a heck of an afternoon. And again, it didn't rain on us here, so that was a plus. And we got a pretty exciting ball game here in the second game anyway.
Very, very good ball game.
We will take it. So for everybody involved with this, and for folks at Shoreline and at Bellevue for allowing us to be a part of their afternoons, my name's Steve Willits, and along with Todd Elvick, we have been coming to you on STSPN, where once again our final scores today: Bellevue sweeping the doubleheader 22-6 in Game 1, 12-7 in Game 2. Invite you to tune in next time for another exciting edition of Shoreline Dolphins softball.
Absolutely.
Have a good afternoon.
Good night.